Welcome to Old Fashioned Finance, the podcast that mixes cocktails and high finance. I'm your host, Caleb Frankert, and I'm joined by my good friend and fellow money muddler, Jason Burnell.
Caleb, can a podcast about finance be entertaining?
Not without alcohol.
Well, all right, let's mix it up.
Should have said not without Tom and Jerry's.
Oh, yeah. Not the, cat and mouse Tom and Jerry.
That's a good one, though.
It is.
That's one of my... Actually, my kids really like that cartoon, too.
Of course, violence is funny.
Yeah, that's true. But we're not talking about those kinds of Tom and Jerry's.
Nope. No, this is a wonderful looking drink.
It is.
This is a Defiance staple.
It is, and it's... Look at this. You can't see this. You're listening. But listen to how good this is setting up.
Yes, exactly.
Look, I mean, that looks like it's supposed to, I think. We
does.
were a little bit worried about this one.
Yeah, this is a very egg-heavy drink. I mean, think like eggnog. Yeah.
Which, to this point, what are we, 89 episodes in?
Something like that.
We finally broke. We caved.
And
we did the raw egg thing.
I think we're scared of it. We might be destroyed after this.
We have. Well, one of our listeners, he messaged us a while back. There was a drink that you could opt for or opt out of.
Well, didn't we do that egg substitute crap that you did?
Yes, and that was awful.
Oh my!
But there was another drink that gave us the option, and he through social media said, "You man up and do the eggs already."
Have no gall.
So yeah, there's no getting around it. You can't really substitute. Although I did do a little bit of research, and I found that there are some places in the northern part of the country, think Midwest, northern Midwest, because this really does seem like a Midwest type of drink, right?
Yeah.
They make pre-mixed Tom and Jerry mix.
Oh, interesting.
So just add the booze.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Defiance, Ohio, we have a local establishment.
Kistner's.
Been here for over 100 years.
Got one of the coolest old bars ever.
I mean, this is like an unbelievable... you can't replace kind of bar.
It's like the building was built around this thing.
Right. And so their staple for New Year's and Christmas is always a Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
So served in a warm glass. Oh, gosh. It's just so magical.
I have to admit that I have never, until today, we did a little market research.
We did.
I'd never tried a Tom and Jerry before of any kind, let alone Kistner's.
And I'm going to be with you. I never had one before.
As many times as we've been in that place.
Right. So we did market research because here's the thing. We didn't want to do injustice to the staple of Defiance.
Yeah. We wanted to make sure we knew what we were shooting for when we made our own.
Exactly.
Which actually reminds me, let me grab the recipe.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did a little bit of research. We went out into the community and asked folks, their best recipes for Tom and Jerry's. We tried the local staple, and now we're going to compare it.
Yeah, and there are a lot of different ways to make this. I found even on the on the internet, there's a lot of. This is one of those. You remember early on in the podcast, we did a little more history on the drinks.
Yeah,
of course, we went from an hour to a half hour, so we cut out a lot of that history. But we did a lot of history on the drinks. We did, got into the controversy because some of these old timey cocktails, which I would say this is old timey.
Sure.
Had a lot of controversy, a lot of really, really strong opinions on the right way to make this or that. So there are a lot with this one. Jason, do you have any idea where the Tom and Jerry came from?
Not a clue
whatsoever. Okay,
not even a clue.
I did a little bit of research. Okay, so the name Tom and Jerry, because when I hear that, I think cat and mouse.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Violent cartoon, like you said. This came from a book by a Pierre Egan, I believe.
Yeah, great guy.
Good guy. Called, this will tell you how old this recipe is when you listen to the title, because this is how they titled books. Life in London, or The Day and Night Scenes of Jerry Hawthorne Esquire and His Elegant Friend Corinthian Tom.
That's awesome. It didn't have any ye's in there.
Nope.
But pretty close.
Some of these, I especially think the Puritan era and stuff that. Some of these titles were you're opening the first page of a book and you're like, I'll read the introduction, and then you're like, oh no, that first page was just the title.
Right.
Yeah. So this was, I think, adapted into a screenplay, which they shortened into Tom and Jerry, or Life in London.
Interesting.
And I think this recipe is mentioned in that book. So again,
I see.
I haven't read the book, but it was It was described as an eggnog with brandy.
Okay, so definitely got the Christmas kind of feel with the eggnog.
Yes.
Okay.
I've always wondered why is Tom and Jerry popular around Christmas and New Year?
That makes sense.
Well, it's a warm. You know what? Let's get into it.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we drinking here, Jason? So we have a recipe from a good friend of ours.
Yes.
And I would say until we poured this, we were going, I don't think we're doing it right.
Yeah. And I mean, the jury's still out. We haven't tasted it.
That's true. It smells right.
Yeah.
It looks right.
It does look right. We were worried.
Although the longer it sits, the more yellow it's looking.
We drank the other one so fast because we had no question whether it was right or wrong.
So the one at Kistner's, excellent. Like
Right.
it's I read up a little bit and it tasted like I thought it would taste, but I wasn't like disappointed. I wasn't one of those things where, you know, you go, "Oh, okay, yeah, it wasn't boring." No, not at all.
Right.
But you know how sometimes you'll mix a cocktail or you'll read about it and you put it together and you're like, "Huh, that's not at all what I thought it was going to be." This was exactly what I thought it was going to be looking at the ingredients. Very good though. Very, very good. So, we don't know what their recipe is.
Right.
I don't think they've published their recipe.
They're not going to share.
I think it's kind of top secret, right?
I agree.
So, and you know what? It works for them. So great. I don't mind popping in there every day from now until New Year.
We declared that when we were leaving. Yep, required from here on out.
Excellent. So this is one of those drinks that you're going to probably make in batches. So what we've got here, and we did cut this one down a little bit, and there's still plenty left over, but you're going to start with 24 eggs. That's right.
24 eggs.
2 dozen eggs, okay?
Yeah. And so this is where the controversy began.
Yes.
So do we do egg whites?
Well, some recipes are very
specific on this,
yes,
right?
some recipes only egg whites. Some recipes are, they state that you separate them, mix them separately, but you end up combining them anyway.
Well, we left them together.
Yeah, what we did with our 24 eggs, well, okay, we combined them with 2 pounds, 2 pounds of confectioner's sugar. So like that powdered sugar, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Yes.
Half a teaspoon of nutmeg.
Ooh.
Half an ounce of vanilla extract.
Mm-hmm. What, did we mess that up?
No, I did it right.
Yeah, you did.
I looked at that and I'm like, wait a second. Did I put way too much in? No. Okay. So yeah, half an ounce of vanilla extract.
No, you didn't use the 2 ounces.
So that's going to make your batter, all right? So you can do in a mixer, like a KitchenAid mixer would probably be really good for that. We used a Ninja blender, which worked just fine.
it actually frothed it up pretty good.
It did. Yeah, it worked really well.
Is that a word, frothed?
It frothed?
Froth? Frothedized?
So we mixed that up. And it was very yellow looking.
Well, we let it settle. And it looked very yellow, which this drink is
looking more yellow. We better shut up and drink it. Anyway, that's your batter, okay? So you're not done yet. That's your batter. When you and you can refrigerate this for up to 2 weeks, they say. So once you've got your batter made, what you're going to do is mix that batter with a half of a cup of boiling water, a half a cup of the batter. And this recipe says a half a jigger, so we assume that meant an ounce because a standard jigger, I think, is 2 ounces. So an ounce of rum. We used a spiced rum in this one because the one that we tried definitely you could smell the spiced rum.
Yeah, for sure.
And then a jigger of brandy. If you've got cognac, even better. All cognac is brandy, not all brandy is cognac, right?
Yes.
So you basically put your batter in, your boiling water, your rum, your brandy. And you're gonna stir it up until it gets frothy again.
Yeah,
right.
Which you just naturally wanted to do anyway, which is pretty cool.
I might not be afraid of the egg drinks. And then we put if this works out, if this tastes like it smells, I might be okay with trying some more of the egg drinks. Next year could be the year of egg drinks. 2023.
I'm nervous.
Egg whites and everything.
I feel like we're gonna have to have like a mini podcast after this and be like, and the fallout from
cheers.
Tom and Jerry.
Oh, we put a little ground cinnamon on the top to make it look pretty,
which
and
is
smell
like
nice.
One of my favorite garnishes.
Let's try it out.
All right, here we go. Yep, it's the same.
It is. I think our friend Doug might have their recipe.
Woo!
I
love that.
Really good. I like it.
Oh, man, punch bowl size of this stuff. That is going to make for a great New Year's.
Dangerous.
Yeah. Get yourself 24 eggs, guys. This is worth it.
Start with a dozen if you're afraid of ruining it like we were.
Wow.
That's
I
really
was
good,
real
man.
nervous. I was afraid of, in my mind, I'm Rocky Balboa, just so you know, drinking eggs.
You know what? We ate omelets for lunch too.
We
so
did.
we're really
Man,
up
so
there.
much
Our
protein.
egg consumption today.
Yeah, I
is
think we
high.
canceled all that with the 2 pounds of confectionery sugar.
This is good. I like it.
Oh,
I might not be afraid of egg based or egg white added to a drink anymore.
Yeah, man, that was great. Try it out. You need to do it. Wow.
Good stuff.
Wow.
All right, Jason.
All right.
It is. It's still kind of the most wonderful time of the year.
Definitely.
Christmas has come and gone.
Yep.
We've got the new year to look forward to.
That's right. That's right.
Not quite at the Christmas hangover point because we're still excited about the new year.
That's right.
Probably thinking about things to change for next year. I know I already am thinking about money goals and things like that. But
definitely.
2022 was a super eventful year.
It was. I would like to say that every year that I'm alive is better than the year before.
Except for this one.
Gosh dang, this one was rough. It was rough.
There are a lot of things that, and this is funny because some of the stuff that we went through on this one, I've already forgotten.
Yeah.
Well, now you're reminding me of them, but there's a lot of stuff about this year that I'd like to forget. I can't wait in some aspects to put 2022 behind us.
Well, I hope on some of these items here that we're going to cover. So we're going to kind of do a year in review.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
what have we survived this year, right?
And
We
so
made, first of all, we made it. Congratulations.
Yes, high
right?
fives.
We've had
Woo.
that was
We
really
missed.
bad. Do that again. There, okay.
I use my left hand, that's why. I can't do anything with that stupid hand.
So we really, if you think about it, 2020, COVID, 2021, kind of COVID again.
Yeah, but man, we had like Happy Days Are Here Again kind of euphoria happening. We can do anything we want.
Yeah, so the COVID stuff, like I guess we don't hear as much about the health-related pandemic stuff.
Sure.
But now we're getting a lot of the economic blowback.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you're listening to this, pat yourself on the back. You've only got a couple days to go, but you basically have survived 2022.
Yeah.
First of all, good job.
Good
because
job.
There was a lot. There were a lot of headwinds this year.
I feel like maybe for the first time in my adult life, this is different than 2020. I'm going to say, like, lots of reasons for hope.
For the new year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel that way.
Well,
I mean, honestly, it's like a badge of honor from like a survivorship kind of perspective. With the pandemic, it just lingered
yes.
for so long. And so many people across the country, and we have listeners all over the place, that were just still kind of stuck in the COVID stuff after 2020 into 2021.
I didn't get COVID till the end of 2021.
I know you're always been a late bloomer. You know that.
No, I thought I was going to miss it entirely. But.
Yeah. So we're going to use a Wall Street Journal newspaper.
Yeah, this article. So we saw this the other day, and it was just like
December.
You were looking
15th.
through it, going, "Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Do you remember this?" I'm like, "Yeah, we need to do a year in review."
Okay, so here we go. Ready? We're just going to kind of do rapid fire on this, and I'm not going to cover all of them, but I think these are pretty good. Okay, here we go.
We're talking about all the things we survived.
Yep.
Okay.
January 12th. Here we go. Inflation accelerates. Reach 7%.
Yeah.
We would take 7%
All of a
right
sudden,
now.
well, that
we?
would be good news right now. The markets would rally on 7%. So that was January 12th.
January 12th.
Man, you might not have this in front of you, and I guess I could look it up on the old interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have been about when
real
when
close
the
to
markets
market
peaked,
highs.
right?
Real
highs.
Close.
So we started off the year setting new all-time highs in the
Right.
stock market. They
Yep.
didn't last long.
Exactly. And so it doesn't actually put that in this article, which is really kind of interesting to me, considering this is like a business publication. I'm always skeptical of all the media that's out there anyway. So
Who, you?
yeah, of course. Okay, so on January 30th, we're living now with COVID, and the Omicron variant spreads like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this sounds like 100 years ago.
Yep.
Omicron.
Yep.
But
So-
it really, I mean, the thing about this was it spread rapidly. Like it was
It did.
super, super contagious.
It
Like,
was.
You're going to get this one pretty much.
Pretty
right?
much, yeah. And even among vaccinated people, it
Yeah.
even notes, which is very interesting. On February 7th, they raided Mar-a-Lago, and they got 15 boxes of documents from Donald
That
Trump's
was
Florida residence.
February 7th?
February 7th. Yeah. That one shocked me too. That feels like yesterday.
Yeah, I honestly, if you asked me at the beginning of the year when that happened, I would have thought that would have been summer sometime, right?
Did you remember that we had an Olympic Games this year?
What, this year, 2022?
I could be wrong. No. Yeah. No. Last year. It was last year.
Okay.
But gold medal team from Russia skating. They were always like top of the deal.
Yeah.
Olympic officials were in doubt, and they tested, and guess what? The Russians were doping.
Look, that's pretty Russian.
Yeah, it is. We probably just got blacklisted.
We just offended all of our Russian listeners. But you know what? There's more Russia stuff coming up.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. February 17th. Remember when baby formula was like, I don't know where I'm going to get my baby formula.
I don't have this problem, but yes, I do remember it being crazy. I remember seeing people selling it on Facebook.
That's right. There were shortages across the country.
Yeah. That's pretty scary.
Okay, we are Americans, there's no doubt. On February 24th, almost a year ago, Russia missile strikes hit Ukraine's capital, Kyiv.
Yeah. Kyiv. We learned how to pronounce Kyiv.
I think it's Kyiv.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
All right,
spelled K-I-E-V, right?
K-Y-I-V.
Oh, why? See, I would have said Kiev. I don't know.
Well,
Kyiv.
So Kyiv got
kind of
struck.
like, another thing that happened in 2022 at the end where the World Cup was played. Qatar.
Very good. Yes, also
Qatar.
I don't know. So
yeah, we did learn to pronounce some different places' names, didn't we?
So I can remember, like right around that time, we were meeting with a lot of clients.
Yes,
how
we
were. We were so much worry about that. And on
why did we do that in February?
I don't know. On the 24th, we also had swift sanctions that I'm going to say pretty much destroyed the Russian economy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like you can't even trade a Russian security. You can't.
We still have that notification on our
custodial platform
every
single
time we
day.
log in.
Yep, it's kind of crazy how that's still going.
So we talk about our stock market and what's happened this year, and Russia is an entirely different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, we're talking their currency dropped to basically useless,
which is pretty important to a country's economic stability.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm going to do some rapid fire ones. They started on March 1st, targeting civilian areas. On March 2nd, oil prices surged, all related to the Ukrainian crisis. On March 3rd, this is an unprecedented opioid settlement. Okay, I thought that was very interesting. $6 billion agreed to be paid by Purdue Pharma to people dealing with the opioid crisis.
I didn't even know that one. Didn't even know that.
Yeah, I do remember that because it was such a huge number. On March 8th, arms were basically given to Ukraine from the U.S., so all related. March 16th, the Fed begins raising interest rates.
It was March.
Yep, right there. Yep. So the Federal Reserve officials vote to lift interest rates and basically set up a very aggressive path to increasing interest rates.
What was the first rate? I can't even. Was it 0.25%?
You know what? It doesn't say in here. I think
that sounds like so long ago.
I know. I feel like it might have been 0.5%.
Okay.
I don't remember though. That's not good.
It wasn't 75 basis points, which has kind of become the norm.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Except for the 0.5% they just did. So, which is now a slowing number. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. And on March 16th, pullbacks from Russia. Basically, countries start leaving Russia. Okay, because they can't do business there anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So Western companies, especially.
Jason, it's going to be so hard to not just stop me if I do. Okay.
What?
I sometimes I want to make this a political commentary.
I know.
Hey, why don't we just do this?
Yeah, exactly. On the 27th of March, the slap heard around the world. Chris Rock and Will Smith.
Yes.
Yep.
That was in March.
Yep.
That's right. Uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly.
We still say that in the office every day.
I know.
When someone verbally smacks somebody here at the office. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh, gosh.
Will Smith just smacked them. Yeah, that was a big news story.
So many memes and stuff.
Quite a distraction from all the important stuff going on.
And it shows you just how feeble the American mind can be at times. It's like, please give us something. Smack!
Give us something else to talk about.
Other than Russia, because we just talked about it. And so on the 31st of March, the markets were officially full-blown turmoil, and we pretty much started to see extreme moves pretty much in March.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we hadn't officially hit bear market territory yet.
Not
right?
yet, and I'm not sure if this article says exactly when. So
it's bad that we don't remember this off the top of our head.
well, because it depends on which index you're looking at.
True.
Right? And
Well,
they were all very
pretty close.
Some of them were, but we got disconnected because the NASDAQ hit it a lot earlier.
Yep.
So, okay, so we started to see supply chain get really affected on April 7th, and this was as a result of the China zero COVID policies.
Mm-hmm.
And we've since seen a lot of other uprisings. This is April. Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
of 2022.
Yeah. The beginning of the year, looking back, what the heck? And it just keeps going. Okay. Ukraine sinks again another of Russia's ships.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And so in the Black Sea, they sunk a ship, obviously with a missile provided from the United States. So here we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Oh, back to a good American story, right? We're going to have ads on Netflix. April 19th.
That was April?
Yeah.
When did I cancel Netflix?
Yeah, exactly. You and a lot of other people. I thought that was very interesting. And April 25th, Twitter accepts a bid from Elon Musk.
Yeah. This is
Twittergate, I think, is what I'm going to call it now.
Okay.
I mean, the story continues.
It just wrapped up.
It did.
And it's not even now. It's,
well, he's the man now.
Well, it wrapped up, and we've had about a week, and now there's more. So we just saw a story. This is going to come out a couple weeks after the fact, but yeah, we just saw a story. He put a poll up, like, all right, do y'all want me to continue as the CEO or not?
Right.
After like a week.
Yeah.
2 weeks, maybe? Has
People
it been
are
2
like,
weeks?
nope.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Quite the $50 billion experiment.
Okay. So my human side is coming out here a little bit. 2 things in May. We're in May.
Uh-huh.
That I totally forgot about, and this makes me sad.
Okay.
Buffalo shooting. 10 people are killed in a supermarket in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
On the 24th, Uvalde, Texas.
Uvalde, yeah. Uvalde?
Oops.
Isn't that like part of your throat? Or is that?
Uvalde, Texas.
Yeah.
I said it wrong.
Uvalde. That was ugly.
19 students.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of fallout on that.
Gosh. What a year.
Okay. Here we go. The Fed goes big, June 15th.
Okay, that was the first big one.
Yep.
June. Yep. That makes sense.
Mortgage rates surge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, to 5.78%, which I'm pretty sure Rocket Mortgage would be promoting that right now.
Yeah, I remember the last time mortgages were 5.7%. You and I were working at a bank.
Yep.
And we were telling our clients at this time, I know I was, refinance now.
Right.
It's not going to get lower than this. And
That's
then
right.
It was for 12 years.
Exactly. June 18th, crypto party is over. Which,
okay,
man.
So did that signal a bear market for crypto? Because it kept going.
Oh, gosh. It says about $2 trillion of cryptocurrency value had been erased.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And actually, you can erase value in crypto, right? Because
literally.
I mean, you can because it's not tangible,
I know.
valuable
Just
stuff.
Use your digital eraser. Okay, air travel, June 21st, air travel delays, cancellations. All of this is a result of, pilots going back to work and just not enough people.
Or pilots trying to go back, but they couldn't if they weren't vaccinated.
Correct. And that was not covered in this article.
Yeah. So, Jason, I remember this because I was trying to book a flight to Vegas the third week or the last week of July.
That's right.
Not because I wanted to go gamble, because I was going to a tax conference and I could not. You were hearing of people showing up at the airport for vacations that they had booked because the first summer really that we've been able to go do stuff somewhat without fear, I guess, for the last couple of years. People were showing up at their gate. Sorry, it's canceled.
We don't have a pilot.
Right. You could not book a flight and plan on getting on that flight in June or July. Absolutely not. I don't know if that's gotten any better, but
well, I think it's gotten better.
better.
I think it's gotten better because they did most airlines eliminated that mandate.
Yeah. Okay.
June 24th, Roe versus Wade, in a landmark, huge overturning. Supreme Court says abortion across the nation is no longer legal, really, without specific state legislation.
Right.
There we
Putting
go.
it back on the states.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen lots of developments on this front. So the beginning of that, I guess, controversy this year.
Controversy.
Yeah, June 24th. That's that seems like not that long ago, but it was a long time ago.
We're still talking about it.
That's right. July 13th, inflation hits a 40-year high.
Was that a Friday?
I don't know. We should look that up. That's funny.
I feel like it was
9.1%.
Yeah, that was scary.
Right. So we just said 7 at the beginning of the year. We hit 9 by July.
Yeah, we would rush back to all-time highs, I think, if we hit 7.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we just had that announcement not that long ago. So on July 22nd, more Ukraine. This is a grain deal. Russia and Ukraine agree to resume exporting millions of tons of Ukrainian grain through the Black Sea. This was not
Was
on
this
the news.
wheat?
It just says grain, but I think it's
didn't
mostly
realize
wheat.
how big of an exporter in wheat
Huge.
Ukraine is. Yeah.
Huge. I mean, we saw wheat prices. I mean, in our
was-
local co-op.
Well, yeah, let's be honest. Good for farmers here.
Good for farmers here,
Right.
but obviously it's a global market, so it gets pretty crazy. July 28th, kind of fallout from COVID. The chip bill passes. Okay, this is the House sends a $280 billion bill aimed at boosting U.S. semiconductors. This was to counter the Chinese actions towards chip manufacturing.
Mm-hmm.
That was really discovered during COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember, we didn't make any antibiotics either. I don't know
Right.
if that one's been solved, but this was a huge one. And in our state of Ohio, we have a massive Intel plant being built, an entire city.
Yes.
Probably one of the biggest manufacturing plants in the world, currently being built in Ohio. So go Ohio.
OH.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Hey, New Year's Eve. Let's go. Beat Georgia.
That's right. July 31st, a drone strike kills the Al Qaeda
Oh, yeah.
leader. Al
right.
Zawahiri. Yep. mhm.
He's a weirdo.
It's a weirdo.
Yeah.
He was involved in 9/11, and wow, that was kind of, again, something that was overshadowed. I would say, I don't want to like celebrate death, but some folks are just bad dudes, and that was one of them. So, all right, we're on to September already.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy. September, hurricane crushes Florida.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had clients down there in the Fort Myers area.
I mean, cities that were just simply leveled, and that is just crazy.
I think Fort Myers and Naples were the ones that took the brunt of it.
Sanibel,
And
yep.
we both have clients down there. We
Yep.
we got videos back, and
Yeah,
luckily
folks-
nobody hurt.
Nobody
but
hurt. Folks that are just going to never go back.
beaches that were there weren't there anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
That's a huge economic impact.
exactly. On the 30th of September, Russia
my
basically
anniversary.
announces that
Good news, please.
they have basically annexed 4 regions of Ukraine, and they are now part of Russia. Also on the 30th, U.S. stocks go deeper. Happy anniversary.
All right.
We're down at least 21% in all 3 majors indices. So that, I would say, would be your official bear market in all indices.
For all indices?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
September 30th. Gosh, it's
all
gone on
major stock
forever, didn't it?
indices. It is. That's
All
why
right.
this just seems like prolonged COVID. Like the last 3 years, these have been
Yeah.
the last 2 to 3 years.
Okay, we're running out of time. Rapid fire.
Okay.
Here we go. We had the UK Prime Minister resigned.
Boris.
We had a new one. We had another new one. Elon buys Twitter on the 27th. That's that of October.
It's official.
Yep.
Hey, the Queen died.
The Queen died.
That all
in
happened
here.
with the Prime Minister stuff. Yeah.
Yep. We had an election in the U.S. And it pretty inconsequential. And now we have a full-blown November 11th crypto collapse, and FTX is
SBF.
fired. Yep. Yeah.
We got a mini Madoff.
We got a MIDI. We got a MIDI Madoff.
That's scary.
That is really.
How does
scary.
something like that happen this day and age on this side of
and
0809?
in the
and-
last few weeks, we've been watching those press conferences and just how non-complicated stealing money can be these days. The Fed continues to raise rates. Inflation actually is back to where we were at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks like it's abating.
Good news. So, I mean, lots of crazy headlines, right? And, these were not, it's sad because this is the stuff that you guys are focused on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no wonder watching the news is sad. So
it was an eventful year. It's been an eventful 2 or 3 years, like we said. Look at all that we survived. I mean, I hate to say it. You know about my morning this morning. I left the house going, can anything else go wrong today? Probably shouldn't ask that. But, hopefully this stuff is behind us.
I agree.
And that was a really interesting year in review, but I am looking forward to 2023.
I think we can.
Boring 2023.
I don't want to be, I don't want to say that we're in a spot where it's like, there's no hope for next year. After a year like this, look at that. We just proved it.
Looking at stocks and things like that, I would say it's more and more likely that we go up from here the longer we stay down here.
But your family's well.
Oh, yeah.
My family's well. Our staff is great.
Yes.
So, all in all, we're very blessed.
If you turn off the news, I think, aside from going to the grocery store and seeing high prices and, getting utility bills with, a higher bill, I guess, you really, some of this stuff on a day-to-day basis, I'm not making light of it, can be kind of inconsequential to your everyday life.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm ready to put 2022 behind me. There were some really good things that happened. There were some crazy things, but I'm looking forward to a boring 2023. I'm glad that we survived this year. I know we can do it.
We can do it. We've been doing mental workouts. That's for damn sure. So
I'm ready for happy days to be here again. So let's not go out on a negative.
Yeah.
This was a really good cocktail.
Great cocktail.
Something we learned in 2022. The verdict is, from a taste standpoint, is in. It's good. We'll see about our stomachs if we did it right. I think we can handle raw eggs in a drink. How's that?
I think we can. That's awesome.
All right. Well,
woo!
Happy New Year, Jason.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of our listeners. Thank you for having a drink with us this week. We are. Yay. It's time to close out the tab. If you have a question or a topic you want addressed on the Old Fashioned Finance Podcast, be sure to email us at podcast@bluejfg.com. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to share the show with someone you love or just someone who needs a little money muddling themselves. You can stay up to date with the latest action by following us on Facebook. Old Fashioned Finance is brought to you by Blue Jay Financial Group. That's bluejfg.com and produced by Podastery Studios. We've been your hosts, Caleb and Jason.
Cheers. Be forgot and forgot and forgot.
Forget 2022. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, forget it. I don't know the words.
All right, I'm cutting you off.
All right.
Blue Jay Financial Group, LLC. Blue Jay is a registered investment advisor registered with the state of Ohio. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. The presence of this advertisement on this podcast shall not be directly or indirectly interpreted as a solicitation of investment advisory services to persons of another jurisdiction unless otherwise permitted by statute. Follow-up or individualized responses to a consumer in a particular state by Blue Jay and the rendering of personalized investment advice for compensation shall not be made without first complying with jurisdiction requirements or pursuant an applicable state exemption. All verbal and written consent on this presentation is for information purposes only. Opinions expressed herein are solely those of Blue Jay unless otherwise specifically cited. Material presented is believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations are made by our firm as to other parties' informational accuracy or completeness. All information or ideas provided should be discussed in detail with an advisor, accountant, or legal counsel prior to implementation.